All right, next video is about equations of a circle. This is in a coordinate plane. So, all we need, this is another kind of just a formula. You need to just plug stuff in. So, what you have right here, this is a circle with a center at the origin. All right, so there's your coordinates 0, 0, and it has a radius of 6. So, all we need is in this equation are those two things: the center, where is the center, and what is the radius. So, here would be the equation of that circle. So the x goes with the x of the coordinate of the center, y goes with the y coordinate of the center, and it's 6 squared. So I'm not going to see this on test or any other thing. I'm going to see, instead of 6 squared, I'm going to see what actually 6 squared is. So 6 squared is 36. So if it asks me what is the equation of the circle, do not put 6 squared, square that out and put 36. Okay, but we're going to do I'll show you kind of how this moves, or how it's changed as you move. So if we take this center along with this radius, and we just move this around, I want you to pay attention to kind of what happens to this equation as we move this around. So I'm going to take center, point B, take the radius, and we're just going to move it around and recognize what changes, but also what does not change about that equation. So pay attention to this equation. What is changing and what is not changing? So as we move this thing around. Well, what is not changing is that 6 squared. Because this circle, no matter where we move it, same size, which means it has the same radius. So that 6 squared, or that 36, right, we're going to square that out, is not going to change. Well, look at what is changing. What's inside the x and what's inside the y, they are changing. Now, what does it change? How does it change? Well, let's take an example here. Let's say we take this coordinate right here. Right, this circle still has radius 6, so that's still 6 squared. Right, but now this center point is now 11, 2. Now, pay attention to this because this is where people mess up. 11, 2 is the center. Positive 11, positive 2 is the center point of that circle. Then your equation, this is x minus 11 and y minus 2. This is important not just for now, but also when you get into algebra 2. If it's in parentheses, you got to kind of think opposite. So that's true with the equation of a circle. We may or may not get to the equation of a parabola, but it's kind of the same idea. Okay, so pay attention to that as we move this thing around. All right, we're going to just move this circle. Again, the radius is not going to change, but our center point is going to change, and look how it affects our equation. So let's just stop there. Center 5, negative 2. Well, the equation says x minus 5 and y plus 2. All right, so think opposite. So if my y coordinate of the center is negative 2, then I'm going to have y plus 2 in the parentheses. If I got positive 5 as the x value of the center, I'm going to have x minus 5 in your equation. And that's going to be true no matter where you move this thing. Okay, so let's say I have this. Right, negative 10, negative 1. Negative 10, negative 1 is the center. So that should be plus 10, x plus 10, and y plus 1, because we're going to switch those. Again, same radius, 6 squared, which would be 36. Okay? All right, let's change the radius. And this is where, these are kind of situations where people mess up too. All right, now this circle is going to have a radius of 4. So what changes over here? Again, you're not going to put 4 squared. You're going to put what 4 squared is. So the equation of this would not be 4 squared. This would be equal to 16. Okay, so again, center point, make sure you think opposite. But that after the equal sign is going to be that radius squared. So that's going to be 16. So again, we're going to move this thing. The radius is not going to change. It's still going to be 4. But let's say we just move these coordinates. The center point all of a sudden is negative 1, 4. So center point negative 1, 4. That means plus 1 minus 4. Same radius, 4 squared, which is 16. Okay, so that's the first thing. Just think opposite and be careful with your radius. Make sure you're squaring your radius. All right. The situations that get people more than anything is, okay, they give you a circle and you're going to have to find the equation. All right, so 2 questions. What is the center? All right, in this example, the center is 0, 0. And what is the radius? In this case, the radius is 5. So again, think. X goes with X, Y goes with Y, right? So 0 goes with X and this 0 goes with Y equals the radius squared. All right, so here should be my answer. Again, radius squared, 5 squared is 25. So that's a question with the center at the radius. Sorry, center at the origin. So that's all I need. I need to know where's the center and what is the radius. So this circle, all right, center point is 3, 2. So that's telling me x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared, because we're going to switch those signs. All right, and what's the radius? 4, so that equals 4 squared, which is 16. So that should be my equation. Switch to x and y, square the radius. Most of this is just practice. And as you get kind of rhythm going, then it shouldn't be a problem. All right, here's the next one. Center 5, negative 1, so that should be x minus 5 squared plus y plus 1 squared, and my radius is 3, so 3 squared would be 9. And there's my equation for that one. All right, this one right here, this quadrant, this is 1, 2, 3, quadrant 3. So if I have something in quadrant 3, that coordinate is going to be a negative, negative coordinate. So that center is going to be negative 10, negative 4. So a negative, negative quadrant, I'm going to have x plus something squared and plus y plus something squared. So both of those are going to be positive. So I have x plus 10 squared plus y plus 4 squared. And the radius is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So there's the equation for that one. All right, one more. Let's say I have this big one. Okay, I don't know if you can see or not, but that center is negative 4, 2. Negative 4, 2. Now, all I need now is the radius. So what is the radius? Radius is 8. So what's that equation going to look like? Yeah, x plus 4 squared, y minus 2 squared, and 8 squared is 64. Okay, so there's 5 examples, one in each quadrant, one on the x-axis, and there you go. So if you need to, watch this video over again if you need to, but those are that's the third exercise that you're going to have to be able to do, going from circle to equation and then equation to circle. If you got any questions, let me know. This will be on the YouTube channel.